Good afternoon, everybody. Lisa here. So I've been slacking on exercising, and today was a beautiful fall day, so I decided to go for a walk. I like going for a walk in a cemetery. I know it sounds kind of strange, but it's very quiet and peaceful. And usually there's nobody here. Today, there's a few cars taking care of their loved ones' graves. But the trees are starting to turn color. So it's beautiful here right now. It's kind of funny. I used to do this all the time. And there was one particular tree that is like the perfect shape and always is beautiful. And that tree actually hasn't even started to change color yet. So if I keep doing this, come out at least once a day, and I'm trying to do a mile. Hopefully I'll be able to see every day how the leaves change on this one particular tree. Oh, I'm out of breath. I do map my walk so I can keep track of how I'm walking and how long it takes me to do the one mile that I want to do. So, but this is actually right around the corner from our house. Actually, it's across the pond. So if you go in the backyard of our house, you can see the cemetery from our backyard. But it's very nice. So what is everybody else up to today? I just had to run to the post office and said, well, I'm out, I'm about, let's go for a walk. There is a huge tree, I don't know if you can see it, like right there behind me, that's just changing, like half of it's changed. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm coming upon somebody watering some flowers, so I don't want to be disrespectful to them. So I'm going to be quiet for 30 seconds or so. What does everybody like to do for their exercise? My husband and I were going to the gym on a regular basis, and then life happened and we weren't able to get there. But now I'm just like not enthused about going to the gym, into the building, but I need to get out and exercise. I have pretty bad back. I need to start strengthening it. So this is what I'm going to try to do on a daily basis, as long as it's nice out. Because we're in New England, so the weather can be iffy this time of year. I don't know if you can see that tree behind me. It's starting to be very, very pretty. So I just wanted to come on real quick. This is my first TikTok live. So please comment, how did I do? Hopefully I'll be able to do this a little bit more often. And, I'm coming to the tree. That usually is gorgeous. And it's funny, this tree only has one grave near it. So let me show you the tree. Car coming by. So that is the tree right there. And like I said, there's only one grave, but isn't it perfectly proportioned? And this tree usually changes to beautiful colors. And I love these ideas. I never thought about it because I try not to think about dying, but having these here little benches, I've seen quite a few of them in this cemetery. Hi there.
Howdy.
Have to be friendly. So again, what does everybody else do for their exercise? In 2012, I had gastric bypass, and I was very happy with how much weight I had lost. But like I said, unfortunately, sometimes it's not permanent. And I became comfortable in my life, and I've gained, I'm going to say a lot back. Not all of it, but too much for my comfort. And I need to get more healthy so I don't end up here anytime soon. So please, let me know what you guys do on a daily basis. I'm not quite sure where to get the comments because, again, I'm new here. I'll have to figure that out at a different time. I used to do live when I was working. I used to do live all the time on Facebook. I used to go out at lunchtime, and we had a walking path where I worked, and I used to do lives quite often as I was walking. So I thought I would start doing that now and maybe have people get to know me a little bit. So this is the pond that we actually live on. It's the town beach. It's quite nice. And where I'm standing, I can look directly to my backyard. Our backyard, my husband's too. My husband built the house with his own hands. He didn't have any builders come. He did it on his own. Took him and his ex-wife 10 years to get it finished. He worked nights and weekends on it after he got out of his construction job. So I used to work for a pharmaceutical company. I worked there for 26 years. And 3 years ago, when I got back from vacation, they called me and basically said, well, we're eliminating your job, but we do have another job for you. And it was data entry in like the basement of this huge building, no windows. Now, I was been spoiled. I was the receptionist for 25 of those 26 years. And I had like 12-foot windows. I had this grand entryway as my office. I loved my job. And when I met my husband, I decided to move down with him because he was an established businessman in this area. And I couldn't ask him to move out of the house that he built. So I decided to rent my house out and move down with him, which then made me about an hour and a half away from my job. So for 8 years, I was commuting back and forth to work every day. So it was about 70 miles each way, 140 miles round trip. So when they offered me this other job, and they wouldn't give me a whole lot of time to think on it. They only gave me a couple days. So I said, nope, not gonna travel that far in any kind of weather, but especially bad weather, for a job that I knew deep down I was going to hate. So I decided, not to do it. Excuse my breathing. This is tough. So I stayed home and I took off a year. They did give me severance. And I also had just sold my house to the woman that was renting it. We did a rent to own option. So that had just gone through. So I had a little bit of money in the bank. So I took a year off and I was gonna look for another job. But then again, life happened and we became foster parents to family member, teenager, and a preteen. So that was exciting. It had been a while since my husband and I had to have teenagers in the house. So that was one of the reasons we weren't going to the gym. I had to get up and transfer them to school in the morning for the most of the year that they were with us. They didn't go to a local school. They lived actually about an hour away. So I would get up every morning and bring them to school. Of course, the state, after a while, did help. But I still had to get up and I had to meet the state worker halfway. So by the time I got done coming home from either dropping them off to school or dropping them off halfway with the state worker, I just didn't feel like going to the gym, which was hard because we were diligent about going every day and doing our workouts. And then after, if any of you have gone to the gym and you're not thrilled about it, as you know that after a while, if you don't go, it's really hard to get back into it. And that's where I am. So, I hope everybody else is having a great day. I have to check and see if I've done my mile or not. And hopefully I'll be back on tomorrow. If it's nice, I'm gonna try to get back out and do a walk. Okay? So, everybody have a great day, great afternoon. Hopefully, I will see you tomorrow. Bye.